Well, good afternoon and welcome inside our Drawson Recreation Center as we get set for action between the visiting Red Deer Renegades and the Sherwood Park Titans. This being the Sherwood Park Titans' final regular season game, here in our Drawson before they head out on the road for the last few of their year. Rest of the players just finding their way out to the floor. Starting goaltenders this afternoon in net for the Titans is going to be number 31, Kira Sarich. And manning the pipes for the Renegades, number 1, Colin Heisler. So it looks like there's going to be a last-minute equipment fix over on the Renegade side. Somebody just ran over to the bench there. Well, my name is Keenan. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon to CROW LAX TV. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. You'll be notified every single time we go live all season long across Junior B Tier 1, Junior B Tier 2, Alberta Major Female, and Senior B. As well, new episodes of the Junior Beast podcast where myself and my co-host Mohammed break down everything Junior B Tier 1. Weekly episodes right here exclusively on CROW. As everybody gets into their final positions, referee gets the ball set. As we are now underway. Off the opening draw, ball loose. It's going to bounce down towards the Titans bench. Going to be scooped up and now run through middle by Amayat. Passes over to Allen. Allen holds. Back across right in front of the Renegades bench and taking a quick hit from behind. We have a player coming onto the floor. There's now a couple slashes across the hands of Tellier. Knocks the ball loose. Renegades are able to pick it up in their zone and move it back down the floor left to right. Renegades wearing the red with the white and black trim. And the Titans, their signature green with black and gold. Across the floor for the Renegades, looking into the middle pass, intended for Latoki, missed him. Now taking a hard shot from far outside are the Renegades. Unfortunately, pops a bit wide, and now Stang picks it up, moves it back the other way. Stang a bit shorter than everybody else, as you can see. Everybody else seems to be just towering over him as he was running it down the floor. He pops it out for her. Passes it into the center, and now bit of a hook was on the play. No call coming up here. It's her diving for the loose ball. Now over on the far side. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. As it's going to expire, as holding it over on the far side was Gadbois. He just couldn't find a passing lane across. A Renegades ball with a minute and a half gone by in the first. As Gadbois is going to strip the ball, heading the other way. He's coming in all alone, and it gets knocked out of the stick and into the close side corner, or far side corner, I should say. It's now a battle for it right in front. Scooped up by the Renegades as they're going to move it back up the floor. A couple players hanging all over. But LaRose able to shake them all off. LaRose takes a slash from Vekved. Gets it out into the center for Boucher. Down low with it is Graham. Graham comes back up to the top. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Pass off and hard shot. Sarich comes up with a stop. Maybe a second chance opportunity. Looking for it was Aktemachuk. And they're going to award the ball to the Titans deep in their own zone as Hoover brings it back across. Hoover just inside the blue line. Pass off goes for a change. Drolette finds his way around. Sorry, my apologies. That's Tellier. Finds his way around. Tellier still with it. Rips one on. Eisler able to make the stop. That goes up into the netting. And it's going to be awarded Titans ball. 17:23 to play here in the first. Titans with it at the top. Trying to move it down. With it is Barrel. barrels pass. Got knocked loose. Ball is going to bounce all the way down the floor right to Sarich. They're going to call it an over and back. Award it to the Renegades. As Marsden holds it in the close side corner. Marsden with Thompson right behind him. As it pops loose, and back referee's actually going to call this one. Award it back to the Renegades as player down on the floor right now. As Marsden was down on the floor on the play, he was helped up by a couple teammates as trainer McKenna Tonery came over to take a quick look. So he's back on the bench. 16:47 to go here in the first. Renegades ball. Clark on the far side. They're going to actually award this ball to the Titans almost immediately after he moves in. So now the Titans back the other way. Amiyot dishes to Potvin. Potvin behind the back pass. As now the Titans look to set something up. Coming back up to the top, intended for Potvin, missed him. Now scooped up by Lott. Lott brings it in. Checked lightly into the boards by Potvin, maintaining possession. Looking to see who he's got around him. He's going to elect to pass that into the far side corner. As now the Renegades looking to set something up on the outside. Aktemachuk with it now. Rips one just wide of Sarich. His ball currently loose. He's trying to pick it up as the Renegades are going to get their goal waved off, as they're going to instead call a slashing penalty on the Renegades. And that is an unfortunate break for the Renegades, as they're going to get the first taste of the sin bin only 4 minutes into the game. So the Titans on the power play looking to set something up as pass to Gadbois on the far side corner. Working it around the outside are the Titans. Trying to set something up just on the left of your screen here, just off camera, as now the Renegades pick that one up and move it back across center. Is Lott, as it's immediately going to be knocked out of his hands. And now just trying to maybe push their way in are the Titans. Ends up right in the stick of Heisler. And Heisler going to send that up the close side. That's going to be stripped by Gerard as Gerard holds to Gadbois. Gadbois shoots one. Heisler with the stop and makes a quick spin move as he didn't get the initial save he thought. I'm going to say stepped in the crease. That's going to be ball back to the Renegades. Smith crosses center, checks behind him to see what's going on as he runs into teammate Erickson. As now there's going to be an extra shot thrown by Smith, as I think he felt Vekved may have shoved him into the boards pretty hard. Vekved trying to sell it to the referee. Referees are going to say nothing's coming here. Rips one just wide of Heisler. Still picked up by the Titans as Gerard holds it. 40 seconds of power play time remains. Couple back and forths at the top as the Titans trying to get something moving here, cutting in down low. Heisler with the initial stop. Ball still currently loose. Heisler trying to pick it up. He finally does, as he's going to pass it up the close side. Ball was knocked loose over and back in technicality here, but we're not actually going to call it that. As Boucher moves in, 1-on-3. Boucher still holding it through a lot of defensive traffic, might I add. Doing a nice job of just maintaining possession. Slips a shot back and forth twice by staying right on him. Moves it in and scores short-handed. Simon Boucher, what an absolute beauty of a goal. As the Renegades are first to strike fresh off of the penalty, it's 1-0. Off the draw, Titans with possession. So the Renegades have it in the close side board, just trying to move it out to center. It's out at the top for Clark right now, as Clark's gonna rip one just wide of Sarich. And a sharp angle shot almost went past Sarich there. Interesting play by the Renegades, as now they hold it right here in front of us in the penalty boxes. That's going to be just ripped back into the zone by Graham. Now another shot goes wide of Sarich. Maybe another opportunity is taking a high hit. No penalty coming up on the play, however. Boucher was looking for a second. Renegades still moving it around the outside, just looking to set something up here as they move it in and fire one on net. Sarich able to make the stop. Player gets knocked down and now moving up the floor. Slows it down. It's Thompson. Thompson dishes off to her, and now Gadbois was looking backdoor for a shot opportunity. Titans on the far side. Her gets a shot and a stop by Heisler. Ball sent up the floor. As just barely keeping it on side was LaRose. LaRose, two defenders right on top of him. LaRose driven into the boards, maintains possession still through two, now three defenders, two still on top of him. As now they're finally going to whistle this down. Extra shot after the whistle by LaRose. Referee is going to award it to the Titans nonetheless. Cross floor. Now on the far side. Titans trying to get it into the middle. Now rubbed out on the close side boards. Now running it behind the net. Back up right in front. Now popping it up, 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Titans aren't going to be able to get a shot opportunity off. However, they are able to keep it deep in Renegades territory and force the Renegades to use the full 200 feet. Larissa makes a pass that was intended for a teammate right by the red line. Had his back turned to the play. So they're going to call it over and back. Titans ball. 10:43 to play here in the first. Spin move. Titans just trying to maintain possession. Gadbois getting in there and gets a shot, or a pass, I should say. As now moving in, getting a shot off was Drillette. And now LaRose brings it in once more right in front of us and the penalty boxes here. Takes a hit to the back of the head just lightly. Nothing. Referee didn't catch that one. So now the Renegades move it in. Rips a shot on just wide of Sarich. Ball's going to bounce all the way up. Maybe touch the netting. It is not. Lucky break for the Renegades as Clark is going to pick that up. Clark brings it in as we cross the halfway point. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Moves it in. Gets a shot off. Sarich with a stop. Across the halfway point of the first here. Hoover moves it across center. Dishes to Gadbois. Gadbois slows it down. Walks it over towards the middle. Passes off as Gerard now goes for the set play for the Titans. Titans bring it in. Looking backdoor and looking to go far side with it. We're the Titans. And we'll have a goalie water break here as we cross the halfway point of the first. You're watching CROW LAX TV. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. Just a reminder, the Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus. Learn about the Grizz Lax program and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North versus South Box Lacrosse Tournament. You can learn more today by following them on Instagram at Battle of the Border Lax. As everybody gets back into their set positions following the goalie water break, Renegades now move it up the floor left to right. Boucher brings it across half, passes off onto the close side for Aktemachuk. Aktemachuk into the center, and they're actually going to call possession to the Titans. Holding it and bringing it across is Vekved. Dishes it over to Barrel. Barrel being covered, maintaining possession against Lott. Barrel brings it in, looking back, door opportunity. It actually hit a body in front, and now Lott picks it up. Tries to get it up to Senek. Now Senek picks it up in the close side corner, Titans territory. Senek still with it, trying to get around, gets knocked down, maintaining possession momentarily. Ball now knocked loose. Ball still loose. As now it's going to be a 2-on-2 battle for it. As now we're going to have a little bit of extra pushing and shoving between Cowan and Graham. As Graham with it for the Renegades. Throws it across the floor. Picked up on far side in front of the Titans bench by Boucher. Boucher walks into center, fires one. Sarich with the stop. Second chance opportunity. Renegades put just a piece of Sarich on it. Looking right in front for Latoki. Allen brings it across, and ball knocked out of his stick as he's going to just shove some guys down without a stick. Loses the ball, however. As now the Renegades look to make something happen. Renegades still holding. Penalty coming up on the play to the Titans is knocked down, and referee's finally going to call it here. So there's going to be a holding call called against Vekved with 7:34 to play in the first. And the Renegades now going to get a taste of power play action. Aktemachuk on the close side. Now ball finds its way over to Erickson. Erickson to the top for Boucher. Now down low is streaking in as Aktemachuk, who gets a shot off on Sarich. comes up with the stop. Sarich trying to send it across, and nice! Picked out a mid-air by Boucher, and right in front are the Renegades, who put it just over the net on Sarich. That's a beautiful play by the Renegades to capitalize on a Titans mistake. As now Cowan crosses the red, crosses the blue. Trying to get it up to Gadbois. That's going to go back over, and that's going to be an over and back against the Titans. 7:02 to go in the first. 1:29 still remains on the power play. Aktemachuk had it. Few passes later, Aktemachuk now in front, looking for a second chance opportunity off a shot on the far side by Boucher. Aktemachuk still hovering there right in front of the ball. Just didn't want to get into the crease. Thrown down the floor. Titans going to chase after it as Thompson. Into the far side corner. Holds it. Driven hard into the boards. Now a second defender comes in for the Titans. Gadbois coming in to give a bit of assistance on the PK. Gadbois walks in, gets a shot off on Heisler with the stop. Gadbois just trying to capitalize on an open lane. Isn't able to get it. There's going to be a penalty coming up on the play. It's a referee. You call a penalty here to the Renegades. I didn't quite catch what that was for. I believe it was a cross check here. So it is going to be a 2-minute cross-checking to the Renegades. We're going to play some 4-on-4 action. For about 45 seconds. Following that will be a short Titans power play for 1:15. Titans on the far side with it. Gadbois just trying to drive in. He can't. He goes pretty far up. So now the Titans just trying to set something up once more. Player's going to be knocked down in front. They're going to award this ball back to the Renegades as Heisler passes off. Cross center is Chu. Chu almost steps over the red line and beautifully is able to slip Thompson to keep that onside. As now the Renegades are going to walk and fire one home. And on the 4-on-4, the Renegades make it 2-0 with 6 seconds left on that 4-on-4. This ball's back down. They haven't started the clock yet. I don't know exactly why. So now they finally do end up starting the clock here, and now it's going to be a Titans power play opportunity as the Renegades almost strip them of it right off the end of that power play. Pass over to her. Her rips one just over the net. And the shot clock expires because of that. So another 58 seconds of power play time remains for the Titans, as there's going to be a penalty coming up on the play to the Titans anyway. So as much as I say that, they just touch it up, and that's going to be a 2-minute slashing call. It looks like it's going to go to Gadbois here. And that's what it's going to be. Gadbois is going to sit for 2 for slashing. We're going to go back to the 4-on-4 for, well, basically just like a couple minutes ago, back to a 4-on-4 for 44 seconds this time. And then the Renegades are going to have a short power play opportunity coming out of that. Aktemachuk holds it, looks to fire one on Sarich, and does. Picked up right in front by Thompson. As Thompson now runs it across the center, slows it down. Gerard Holds still. Throws it across the floor. Now fight for it on the far side corner. 10 seconds left in that penalty to the Renegades still as the Titans throw one on net and score. And the Titans get their own 4-on-4 goal to make it 2-1. And eerily similar of only a few minutes ago, there's still 6 seconds left of the 4-on-4. I mean, it feels like we just went back in time by maybe about, 5 minutes. So the Titans able to cut that lead in half. With 4:24 to play in the first here inside the Ardrossan Recreation Center. Loose off the draw, scooped up by Barrel cleanly. As now penalty expires to the Renegades, and they're going to have a power play opportunity as the Titans do end up getting a shot off, trying to maintain possession. So they do get a fresh reset. Renegades moving it up the floor as Boucher slips another shot. Boucher passed off. Actually passed it off where I didn't see that he passed it off until after I said his name. Is now low shot and scores are the Renegades. And immediately on the power play this time, they restore their 2-goal lead. (3-1) Renegades, 3:41 to play in the first. The referee's just having a quick discussion here, and we're back underway once more. Renegades almost winning this draw. A couple players do end up going down. They're going to award it to the Titans off of that. Ball right behind Heisler, down in the Renegades territory. Pass up to the top. On the far side, looking into the center, actually hit a body in front. So the Titans up top now. Back over to her. Her passes off. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Titans got to push in and make a shot off. They do get one on Heisler. Heisler comes up with the stop. As he sends that one up through the center. Brought across by Lott. Lott, cross floor pass, jumping to try and pick that out of midair, but it's going to bounce out of the stick, and now they're still trying to pick it up. They finally do, are the Renegades. A sharp angle shot, maybe trying to go off the back of Sarich. I don't know what that was, but the shot clock was coming down to an expiry, so smart heads-up play by the Renegades to still try and get a shot on net because, a smart man once said, if you don't take any shots, you can't score. Pretty sure that might have been Doc Emmerich, actually, that said that, but, I'm not going to be one to steal his thunder. As Smith brings it in. Graham being covered. Graham's spin move to shake his man off. Aktemachuk is right down there trying to set a screen potentially, as now it goes up to the top and ripped one on net. Off a body into the netting. So it's going to be awarded back to the Renegades. 2:06 to go in the first. It's Clark trying to help out his teammates as a few slashes being thrown by Thompson, just trying to knock that ball loose. Thrown through center, now picked up by Amayat, as Amayat is going to run it in for the Titans. He's got some help. Instead, he's going to elect to cut back and go for a change off himself. Let the Titans try and set up a play. as the Renegades are able to strip them almost immediately as Chu brings it in. A minute and 32 seconds to go. Chu at the blue line. Passes off to Erickson. Now Boucher. Boucher spin move. Back on close side to Erickson. Trying to go down low. Now back in front for Aktemachuk, gets a shot off, and Sarich with the stop. Picked up by the Titans, and now the Titans are going to move it back in as Vekved, with about a minute left, as now the Titans get a shot off. Heisler able to drop down, make the stop. What a beautiful opportunity for the Titans now, as we're in the final 60 seconds of the first. As there's going to be a penalty coming up on the play as the Titans touch it up. And Sean Stang is going to sit. It's going to be a 2-minute cross-checking call as Renegades fans yelling at the referees here inside the arena. Not happy with that call. Felt it should have been a 5. Referee having a discussion with Captain Grady Thompson of the Titans here before we get started on this power play opportunity, which should bring us in to the end of the first. 48.4 to go. As Boucher checks the clock, sees how much time he's got. There's going to be about an 18-second shot and game clock separation here. Now Aktemachuk with it. On the close side, top of the circle. Now rips one home on another power play marker by the Renegades. It only took 21 seconds, and they make it 4-1. So 27.1 seconds remains. Titans win the draw. Trying to move it in as the Titans are going to call a timeout here. .0 to go here in the first. Titans will have possession, which gives them basically the rest of the period to work with. The referees blow the whistle. The Titans are going to go 6-on-5 to finish off the first period. 24.0. This ball is up, and we are back in for the final 24. Titans just checking the clock, as don't expect them to do a whole lot for about another 3 to 4 seconds here, as now 10 to go. They're going to go for it now. Titans just trying to get something going and knocked off the ball immediately. Referees are going to blow the whistle. It's going to be awarded Renegades ball, but I don't think they actually did give it to the Renegades. I think they meant to say Titans, as time is going to expire in the first. Through 20 minutes of play, the Red Deer Renegades leading the Sherwood Park Titans by a score of 4-1. You're watching CROW LAX TV. We'll be back with the second. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back inside our Drawson Recreation Center as we get set for second period action between the Red Deer Renegades and the Sherwood Park Titans. Through the first 20 minutes, 4-1 Renegades with the lead off of 2 power play markers by Avery Week. Just unbelievable plays. Opening the scoring was Simon Boucher with a great individual effort. And Logan Kodowich with the 4th and final marker for the Renegades, and I believe that was the second goal of the game for the Renegades. On the Titans side, the single goal, Reed Reguer with that one. And I apologize, I had my goaltenders mixed up a little bit. I had it a bit outdated for the Renegades. Actually, a net for the Renegades, number 1, Corey Geldof. So I apologize for having that incorrect. As ball is down, referee blows the whistle. We're back underway for the second middle frame. The stick almost immediately knocked out of the hands of Thompson as he brings that one in the zone. Going to be picked up by Pren for the Renegades. Titans now with possession. Tellier on the close side, gets it to Gadbois across. Gadbois is going to rip one on net, hits a body in front, and now it's going to be the Renegades moving the other way. As a pass that was intended for Boucher missed him, it's going to be run behind the net, behind Sarich. Still loose. Renegades trying to pick that one up. Player knocked down. So now it's going to be a 2-on-1 battle. Going to be won by the Renegades as they get a shot off on Sarich. Makes the stop. Stuck somewhere in Sarich's pad, finally gets knocked free. And with that, Amayot is going to bring it across center. Dishes to Barrel. Up the far side boards, now up for Kuhn. Trying to pass it across. Intended for Tellier, missed him. Finally does work its way to Tellier with a fresh 30 to work with, and immediately going to be stripped by Erickson, as now Erickson is going to bring it in for the Renegades on Sarich with the stop, and that's a big save for the Titans. As now the Renegades strip the Titans yet again, and they're going to try and go to work once more. They rip one just wide. Ball still loose. Second chance opportunity. Brings it in. Gets a shot off. Sarich with the stop. As Clark with 2 nice back-to-back shot opportunities for Red Deer. This ball's going to bounce all the way down to Geldof. He's going to send it all the way back up for Clark. Clark pushing his way in. Gets a shot off and scores on Sarich. Darian Clark is going to make it 5-1 Renegades. Off the draw, Titans with the win. Gadbois trying to pass it over to Barrel as Barrel had his back turned to the play going for the change-off. Gadbois just shaking his head like, what in the bloody heck was that? As the Renegades just send that one up the close side. A cross-floor pass, looking to cut his way in, was Kodowich, already again with 1 in this game. Pass across the floor, trying to push his way in is Graham. Back to Kodowich. Kodowich being covered by Thompson. Across the floor and low shot on Sarich goes in. And make it 6-1 Red Deer. Off the goal by Brody Erickson. Ball is down. Ball's going to be pulled right towards the penalty boxes here off the draw. Ball gets knocked loose. Nobody knew where it was for a second. Still down on the floor. Going to be picked up by the Renegades as Renegades try and go on a 3-0 run real quick here. As Gadbois is cherry picking pretty far down in Renegades territory. Run across center by Potvin. Potvin pass off. Looking to go backdoor is Gadbois as he was knocked off of his initial and driven hard into the boards was Hunter Smith as he ragdolls down. He's up though quickly. And now a shot through traffic by Reguer. Gets saved by Geldof as now the Renegades try and move it up. Losing the footing is Pren. Able to still beat the 8 seconds as he gives it over to Boucher. Boucher trying to go down low. It hits somebody in front, bounces into the close side corner. Boucher still picks it up, trying to take a low shot, hits somebody again. Boucher maintaining possession as now gets knocked down by a third defender who drives in and knocks him down. Referees are going to award this ball to the Titans off a 30-second shot clock violation with 16:04 to play in the middle frame. Allen crosses the red, crosses the blue, brings it into the far side corners. He had a nice pick set and some help from Gerard. Is now Gadbois up at the top, passes off to Tellier. Tellier trying to get around, gets it to Gadbois. Gadbois gets a shot off, and that's going to be saved by Geldof as Gadbois driven hard into the boards. And now there's going to be some pushing and shoving after the whistle, and these guys are going to go at it. Referees letting them fight here. They're going to leave it here as they're just going to keep going at it. And Gadbois goes down by 2. Gadbois taking some exception to Chu's hit. They're going to fight it out. And now they're both going to take some time to think about their actions. So referees are going to have a bit of a discussion here. We'll see what they officially give. We know there's going to be probably coincidental 5 minutes. I believe there may be an initial call going the way of the Renegades. Referees are yelling at the players, telling them to shut up and quit talking before they get themselves in some more trouble here. So we'll just take a short little break here. Thanks for tuning in to CROW LAX TV. My name is Keenan. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Be notified every single time we go live all season long. So referees signaling we're officially going to play 5-on-5 as both players are going to sit for 5 and 2s. So they'll both be out at the 8:39 mark of the second. There's a pass in front, and now Geldof trying to stop that up, and now there's going to be some extra pushing and shoving. This game is going to start to get physical here. as the clock may be having some issues here as they cannot get it started. They are finally able to get it started. I overheard in the intermission there were some issues with the clock in this building, so good to see that they were able to get it restarted here as ball currently in Renegades territory, trying to move it back up the floor. Dished off to Clark as Clark brings it in. Being covered by Potvin. As Erickson holds it, gets it back up to Clark. Clark trying to get a low shot, and he's going to fire one just wide on the close side. Ball's still loose, trying to pick up his own rebound. It's going to be scooped up into now the far side corner. This ball's still loose on the floor, and now picked up by the Titans. Vekved brings it in. Vekved just trying to push in. Gets a shot off, gets a piece of gelled off, and goes up into the netting. So going to be awarded back to the Titans. 14:24 to go in the second. Gerard. Pass over to Reguer. Reguer fighting for it as he feels he got hooked on the play maybe. Referee's not going to call it. Barrel on the far side. To Reguer, 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Reguer trying to get it back across and could be knocked loose and picked up by Marsden. So Marsden's going to send that one all the way down the floor, intended for, I believe, that was Brendan Duscher. So now Allen with it. Allen being covered, still holding. He's going to run it behind the Renegades net, trying to get it right out in front for Potvin, and hovering was Heft as well. As Titans come in, knock the ball loose of LaRose as they're trying to gain a sustained possession. As referees are going to award it to the Titans. Tellier up top, ball he loses possession of as Ty Erickson scoops it up. Ty Erickson coming in all alone. He had some help on the far side by his brother Brody Erickson. Is now cutting in front, trying to get a shot off. It's the Titans now up the close side. Hoover off to Reguer. Reguer trying to back his way in. He's going to send it over onto the far side now in the far side corner. Now trying to come back across for Tellier. Scooped up by Reguer. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Titans got to make something happen pretty fast here, as there is going to be a penalty coming up on the play to the Renegades as they touch it up. It's going to be a holding call on the play to the Renegades, number 25 of Rocco Larrizza. So the Titans go back on the power play with 12:13 to play in the second. Haven't had a goal in a while here, which is very interesting. Regularly scored goals in the first, and two quick markers by the Renegades to start off this period. That's where we sit 6-1. Reguer trying to calm everybody down and get a set play. It's Reguer quarterbacking up at the top. Cross pass Tellier. Tellier's going to get a shot off, and that gets the crest of Geldof. As now Lott brings it across the half once more for the Renegades on the PK. Lott just holding. Passes off to a teammate in front of his own bench. As Lott and Boucher just slip a shot from each other by accident. Boucher still holding. As He tells Week to go make a change. Gets a shot off. And Sarich able to make the stop as Thompson's going to pick it up for the Titans, bring it across the center, 11-10. Gerard waiting for everybody to get a change off to Reguer. Back to Gerard. Tellier. Top for Reguer. Back to Gerard, who gets a shot off, gets a piece of gelled off, fresh 30 to work with, as moves its way to Barrel. Barrel to Reguer. Reguer, low shot, gelled off, drops down to make the stop. Still another 22 seconds of power play time remaining to the Titans, as now moving in shorthanded is Graham. Graham in the close side corner, as there's going to be a battle for it in the corner. Player gets knocked down. So they are going to award it back to the Renegades with another 10 seconds left on the PK. So we're about to go back 5-on-5. As time expires, back 5-on-5 now. Almost immediately after that gets whistled down. Titans shoveling it ahead on the far side boards. With it is Her. Passing off. Now to Reguer, close side. Reguer has a lane to cut in, gets a shot off Geldof and gets knocked down after getting the shot. And Reguer's actually holding the stick, maybe trying to draw a penalty there. Referees having none of it, as they're not going to call anything. Scooped up by Drillette, who brings it in. Drillette's spin move to try and shake off his man, gets it to Reguer, and Reguer pass across. Was intended for Potvin. This player gets knocked down. They're going to award it to the Renegades. We're going to have a bit more pushing and shoving here. There's going to be a player just popping in, is coming in to help Smith separate. There's going to be no more of that, as we're going to have the media timeout of the second here. Once again, a good time to remind you that Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus, learn about the CROW LAX program, and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North versus South Box Lacrosse Tournament. You can learn more today by following them on Instagram at Battle of the Border Lax. Be sure to follow us as well on Instagram and X at CROW LAX TV. On Instagram, you can catch game highlights all season long, as well as game scores, the Junior Beast podcast. Lots of things available for you on our social media platforms. As the Renegades get it restarted, a pass into the center, missed everybody. Renegades able to scoop it up, however, as they're going to try and get something going. Renegades do get a shot off. Ball's going to bounce all the way to Boucher on the close side boards. Boucher's going to cut right into the middle, get a shot off, and scores! Simon Boucher, give him his second of the game, as he rips one off the post past Sarich to make it a 7-1 game. .58 to go in the second. Renegades sitting comfortably up by 6. Barrel is going to win that off the draw. It's going to be popped up, and now the Titans had a 3-on-1 opportunity here as Heft now has it. Heft looking into center for Hare, who is streaking in. But Her wasn't able to keep that in the stick. Tellier holds it at the top. He's got Heft with him. Tried to go to Potvin instead, who is cutting in. Now Heft trying to cut off the pass, as now Boucher in there. 2-on-1 for the Renegades. Boucher gets a shot, maybe a second chance looking are the Renegades, as Boucher was trying to pick it up. Once again, they do get a reset as it goes over to Graham. Graham driven into the boards by Vekved. And now referee's going to call this one. To the Titans. Hoover passed it into the zone. Is at the next whistle. Both Chu and Gadbois get to come out of the box after thinking about their sins for fighting, as the Titans take a shot down low, just stopped by Geldof as he had his stick between the legs. 7:33 to go. As the Renegades just trying to get something going. Pass across the floor, picked up by the Titans. Hoover bringing it in, slows it down just inside the blue line. Comes back out, dishes to Kuhn. Tellier. Tellier runs it back up top and gets a bouncing shot off that goes just a bit wide. And that's going to bounce almost into the netting. It stayed out of it. Is now Heft with it. Heft driving in, just gets a shot off at the 1 second left on the shot clock. As now the Renegades on a giveaway. Grady Thompson holds 6.5 to go here in the second period. As Barrel gets it over onto the far side boards, now finds its way back into the center for Reguer. So he gives it over to Heft. Heft, spin move back to Reguer. As they're going to award this to the Titans, or sorry, to the Renegades, my apologies. As Boucher is going to run it in quickly. Boucher's going to rip another shot on net. Sarich comes up with the save. Up the close side to Hoover. Hoover slips a shot from Senek. Hoover gets a bit of help there as he's going to run it in a bit deeper. Cut pass by the Renegades as they're going to try and bring it back across the half, and they're going to actually scoop it up into the Renegades bench. So it's going to be awarded Renegades ball with 5:52 to go. The pass that went almost past Sarich. They are going to award it to the Renegades as Sarich had it for the Titans. That timing just unfortunate for them. It's weak with it at the top, throws it on net, stopped by Sarich. Sarich was potentially going to throw that one down the floor, opts to pass it to Amiot on the close side. However, his player's going to go down right in front, and they're going to award that back to the Renegades as they were trying to run up the floor. Player gets knocked down. Just a couple seconds over 5 minutes to play in the second period. Is now trying to run it in, gets a shot off, is Kodowich. This player gets knocked down in front. There's going to be a penalty coming up on the play to Boucher, as going down in front was Austin Allen. This ball's still loose, finally going to be touched up by the Renegades. So they're going to call an interference on Boucher with 4:39 to play. Now officially, Chu and Gadbois are out of the boxes after a bit of an extended time sitting in them. As Reguer starts it for the Titans. Heft on the close side. Gadbois on the close side with him in the corner. Goes up to Regehr at the top instead. Over on the far side, Girard gets a shot off, saved by Geldof. As now the Renegades trying to move it up the floor quickly. Aktemachuk slips a couple defenders. He's still got another one to try and make his way around as Aktemachuk still holds it, trying to go around the net. He tries to cut back, loses possession of it off a hit by Vekved. So the Titans regain. Cross center is Regehr. As the Renegades coaching staff is actually yelling at the ref, I counted more than 8. Referee's not having any of it from the Renegades bench. As rips one on net is Regehr. That goes off of, I believe that got a piece of the mask of Geldof, goes all the way down to Saric. The Saric is just going to send that one up to Regehr. Heft. Back to Regehr. Far side, rips one is Girard. Goes just wide, looking across. Is knocked down, picked up by Regehr. Regehr to Gadbois. Gadbois fires one on net and scores! Hunter Gadbois, power play goal. .302 remains in the second. 7-2, Renegades lead. Ball rolls all the way down the floor. Going to be picked up by Potvin. As Potvin passes off, Regehr gets a shot that goes just wide, and ball's going to bounce pretty far out. However, kept onside by Grady Thompson. Bounced into center. Now finds his way to Tellier. Tellier rips one on net, stopped by Geldof. Geldof to Senek. Up in the far side corner. Fires one on net. Saric able to come up with the save. Just a close pass for teammate as Allen brings it over the center. Now an open opportunity for the Titans, maybe in a low shot by, I believe that was her. As Pren takes a few shots as he's going to run it up the floor. This player's going to get hit in the close side corner. Didn't quite see who that was. Ball's knocked loose now, however. As Thompson scoops it up, brings it across. He's going to stop instead as he had 4 defenders just hovering and waiting. Now a cross pass by Tellier. Missed the intended target of Kuhn. This ball still loose. A couple players end up going down. Ball is still loose after all this time. Finally going to be picked up by the Titans. As now there's going to be a penalty on the play for too many players on the floor. So that's going to be a bench minor. To the Titans with 1:32 to play in the middle frame. So Boucher restarts for the Renegades. as the Renegades moving it around the outside, looking to set something up. Looking to Aktemachuk, who was on the close side of your screen there. Now behind the net, was passed out to the center. And now the Titans are going to have a short-handed opportunity back the other way. Bringing it in is Allen. Allen's going to be driven into the boards by Clark. Trying to hold, he does. Still gets a shot off, is Allen. Gets a piece, and now goes all the way down the floor. And puts one home, is going to be Avery Week, as they're going to call it a no goal. Nonetheless, as he's going to step in the crease, and that is an unfortunate break for the Renegades, as that would have been Week's third power play goal of this game. His hat-trick goal, and they all would have been special teams, as Gadbois is going to run in and help Thompson out with 25 seconds to go in the period. As time was expiring on the shot clock. Thompson throws it down in an unfortunate bounce, gets past Geldof, and the Titans get a short-handed goal to make it 7-3. What an unfortunate scenario for the Renegades there, as Grady Thompson is going to pull the Titans within 4. And wow, talk about an unlucky bounce. It's not often that you see those, but when you do, man, oh man. They're going to call a false start on the Renegades, award it to the Titans. 10 seconds left in the period. Trying to get one last one is Potvin. 5 seconds left. Potvin is going to find his way in. Jumping shot, as he's going to step in the crease anyway. And they're going to finish off the .8 final seconds of the second. So through 40 minutes, 7-3 Renegades lead over the Titans here inside the Ardrossan Recreation Center. You're watching CROW LAX TV, and we'll be back with the third. Welcome back inside our Drawson Recreation Center as we get set for third and final period action between the Red Deer Renegades and the Sherwood Park Titans. Through the first 40 minutes, 7-3 Renegades lead. Renegades still on a little bit of a power play here to finish off the period. Or to start the period, I should say. As it's going to be 27 seconds of power play time still for the Renegades off the late penalty to the Titans. This ball is down. We're back underway. And immediately the ball bounces into the Renegades bench and going to be awarded back their way. As Graham brings it in. Graham rips one on net and just gets the crossbar off the back of Sarich and out. That is as close as they come without actually scoring. Maybe time for one last power play shot. They're not going to get it as now we're back 5-on-5. As the Titans into the zone. Looking to set something up. On the outside, pass across for Heft. Heft is going to rip one, and that's going to go off of the post. There's now another shot by the Titans from out far, finds its way past Micah Tellier. Makes this a 7-4 game. Had that off his stick so fast after the whistle, didn't even have time to really react to that one. As within the first minute, the Titans pull within 3. Ball still kind of sitting in the neutral zone off the draw. Finally going to be picked up by Allen as Allen's going to streak in, gets a shot off, and that's going to go off of the shoulder of Geldof. As now Gadbois knocks a guy down. There's going to be potentially a penalty. There is not. Looked like the referee may have had his arm in the air for a second. Puts it down pretty fast. It's Potvin just trying to get a shot off. Still 20 seconds left on the shot clock as it's going to be passed into the far side boards. It's still sitting loose. Going to be grabbed and run behind the net by the Renegades. Up the close side for Graham. Graham gets stripped of it by Vekved. Vekved, he's going to shove his way in and put it just a little bit wide of Geldof. Restarting is Boucher, already with 2 in this game. He's on hat trick watch alongside teammate Avery Week, who's got 2 of his own. Hard shot goes off of the pads of Sarich. This ball loose along the close boards, kept in by the Renegades, and a nice heads-up play by Aktemachuk to just keep it in there. Ball is going to be scooped up by the Titans as Hoover shoves his way into the zone. Trying to go for Kuhn out top. Ended up with Barrel as he went back deep into the territory. Now up for her. Bouncing all the way out. Titans doing a nice job of keeping possession of it, but not of getting any on net as shot clock is going to come to an expiry. Ball's going to bounce all the way down to Sarich. They probably are going to want it thrown down a little bit, but they're not going to. Sarich just taps it aside onto the close side corner. That's going to bounce over to Erickson. Erickson passes across. Almost losing the footing was Kodowich. As into center and misses everybody right into the stick of Sarich. Emma Yacht picks that up. Amiot past the red, past the blue, as he's going to pass that over to Allen, who misses it. Picks it up in the close side corner. Over to Potvin. And Potvin pops it out up high. Trying to get a shot off, hits a body in front, was Tellier. Picked up by the Renegades on the close side boards with just over 16 minutes to play and lead by 3. Driven hard into the boards was LaRose, as LaRose is still going to give Thompson the business here on the close side boards. As Thompson and LaRose referee gets in there to split them up. Titans now with possession. Vekved brings it in. Vekved rips a shot on net and stopped by Geldof as he pinches off the 5-hole. As a pass, I believe it was by Lott, missed about 3 different teammates on its way back behind the Titans' net. Picked up now by the Titans, and Gadbois tries to grab it on the far side. Grabbed by Geldof. Geldof is going to send it up on the close side boards, grabbed by Lott. Lott gets it knocked loose by Kuhn. Lott still fighting for it. Gadbois is able to pick that one up. Gadbois going to run in, gets a low shot as he's going to get knocked down, and ball is going to bounce into the netting. Awarded to the Titans, as that did get a piece of Geldof. As now all alone running in is Boucher. Boucher is stopped by Sarich. Tried to go for a one-hand tuck on the far side. Now Boucher's going to have a second time to do it, and he gets the hat trick. Simon Boucher, give him 3. It's 8-4. Fool him once, shame on him. Fool him twice, shame on yourself. Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying new things here, and apparently that one did not land because I don't even know what I was saying half the time. As Graham is going to grab that for the Renegades, immediately gets knocked out of his hands by Heft as he goes down to Gadbois in the far side corner, missed him, picked up instead by Lott. Lott being covered by Heft and Gadbois. Is able to find his way around both of them. Out to Senek. Senek now with Thompson covering. Thompson knocks him back a step. Now goes to Kodowich. Kodowich trying to push in. Pass onto the close side for Erickson. Missed him. Goes all the way into the far side corner. As Week reads that there's a player right behind him and trips up a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Nonetheless, nice job to regain possession for the Renegades. As the Titans grab it. An extra shot, and there's going to be a penalty as Aktemachuk two-hand slashes Hoover. So that's going to be a 2-minute at least for the Renegades next time they touch it up. It's 6-on-5 at the moment. Titans with it on the outside. Gets it over. Fires a shot, and touching it up now are the Renegades. So they're going to call a 2-minute slashing call on Aktemachuk with 13:32 remaining in this one. Titans still down by 4 with a long time to still go. If they get one here, this could be good news for them. Reguer up at the top quarterbacking. Heft back to Reguer. Down to Gadbois on the far side. Looking right in front was Potvin streaking in as Barrel's going to knock a guy down, and they're going to award that ball to the Renegades. As Chu passes through center to Erickson. Gets knocked loose. Titans are going to go back to work as Allen brings it in. Allen slows down in the close side corner, cuts back, looks for a pass. He gets it over to Gadbois. Gadbois to Barrel. Barrel at the top. Finds a lane to streak in. Passes off to Potvin, who gets a shot off, and Geldof is going to drop down and get the stop. Heft just trying to block. And a nice job picking it out of midair is Pren. It's Graham holding. Trying to keep possession against 3 different defenders. As the stick gets knocked out of his hands by Cowan. Barrel. Checking to see who he's got with him. Passes to Heft on the far side. Still another 25 seconds of power play time to go. Back up top. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Titans got to rip one on net here soon. 3 seconds left. They're going to throw one along the floor. It's not going to matter. As Heft does get a shot off right after the 30-second shot clock expires. 6 seconds left. Titans are going to gain possession, bring it across. Not going to matter as we're back 5-on-5 now. Regehr with a shot that goes just wide, kept by the Titans. Cross pass, Regehr gets a shot with Gadbois right in front of him, just ducking down to make sure he can get it off. As that one's just going to be yeeted right through center to Erickson, who's streaking in, gets a shot and scores! Brody Erickson, his second of the game, makes it 9-4. Referee's just having a discussion as one of them comes over to the bench here. As I believe they did say that is a goalie assist, so Geldof does get a point there. Gets an apple on that goal by Brody Erickson. 10:55 to play. It's Graham trying to move in. Isn't able to get a shot off the way he intended to. However, Renegades maintaining possession on the far side now is Clark. Clark passes off. Trying to do a little spin move as Boucher looking for a 4 as he's going to get knocked down. Still gets a shot off after getting knocked down is Boucher. Impressive individual effort. Gadbois in center. Gets his way around Pren. Gets a shot off that goes off the far side post. Actually hits a light here inside the arena, and those lights are actually pretty far up, like at least a solid 20, maybe 25 feet, so that's a hard shot to go all the way up there as the Titans get one up into the netting off the top of the crossbar. I believe they say it got a piece of Geldof instead. I don't know if that was the right call. Nonetheless, Titans maintaining possession. Gadbois on the far side. Gadbois passing off. Trying to rip one on was Tellier as he was stopped up and stripped of it. Ball was knocked loose, grabbed by Kuhn. Throws that one through center, and now the Renegades are going to strip that one themselves as we're inside the final 10 of the third. Picked out of midair by Potvin. Potvin trying to push in. He's going to cut back. Passes over to Heft. Heft back to Potvin. Potvin throws one on net just as the shot clock comes to an expiry. And with that, that will be the goalie water media break of the third and final frame. Which means it's once again time to remind you that Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus, learn about the CROW LAX program and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North versus South Box Lacrosse Tournament. You can learn more today by visiting them on Instagram at Battle of the Border LAX. So 9:16 to play. Renegades up by 5. As Brody Erickson restarts. Fresh off of his second goal of the game. And now cutting in an open lane, getting a shot off on Sarich and scores! Logan Kodowich gets his second of the game. Red Deer up 10-4, 9:13 to play in the third. Grabbed by the Titans. Potvin. To Vekved. Vekved pass across and shot saved by Geldof. Back to Vekved. Just a little shovel over, and now to Gadbois. Gadbois going to get a shot as he was getting knocked down. Ball's going to bounce all the way into the Renegades bench. As Renegades get knocked down and just trying to throw it in deeper, was going to be cut off by her. As ball finds its way to Barrel. Pass to Gadbois. Gadbois finds a lane, fires one just over the net. Second chance opportunity. Getting a nice shot off was Reguer. The sent all the way down the floor. That's even going to circle around the net. Going to be picked up behind the net by Sarich. Sarich sends it through center to Allen. Allen with it on the close side. Up into the middle, streaking in was Potvin, and Potvin shoves his man down. And now grabbed by Hoover off the missed pass from Senek. Hoover gets some help. Firing one just wide. Ball's going to bounce over and back against the Titans. 7 1/4 to go. As now Boucher tries to cut in. He's going to be cut off by a couple defenders. He's going to pass back. And now Clark's going to cut in, get a shot off himself. And they're going to award this ball to the Titans. With 6:53 to play. Thompson crosses center. Trying to shove his way in, takes a slash from Boucher, gives it over to Gadbois. To Reguer, back to Gadbois, was cut off by Boucher. Now just trying to run his way in is Kuhn, who picks it up. Right into center. Heft is going to rip one on net. Dropping down was Geldof to make the stop. Geldof gets the pass off to Chu on the close side. Chu almost loses his footing. As Hoover stops him up just on the wrong side of the red line. Now pushing in is Allen. to Vekved. Vekved holding. Looking for somebody, maybe Potvin. That's who he gives it to. Potvin rips one just wide of the net. 8 seconds left on the shot clock still. Titans maybe looking for one final one, losing his footing. Was Tellier. The shot clock is going to come to an expiry. Renegades grab. And I don't know if they're going to beat the 8 seconds. They're instead just going to send that one all the way down the floor with 5.5 to go. Sent up to Vekved again. And now Potvin was looking for a close shot that went over the net. Picked up. 15 seconds left on the shot clock as Reguer tries to get one off. Player's going to be knocked down. So that is going to be Renegades' possession now, just over 5 to go. Renegades into the zone. Smith is going to get knocked over the line, but he was able to get it off in time. As now Cowan is going to run in. He's one-on-one. Cowan, little spin move, gets a shot off, and that gets a piece of gelled off. Nice save. Heft streaking in, gets knocked down by Week. And they're going to say that Heft stepped in the crease. It's awarded back to the Renegades. Cut pass by Hoover. Hoover to Gadbois. Gadbois rips a one on net off of Geldof into the far side corner. Picked up by the Titans. Titans just trying to get something working here as they're going to rip one just wide again. Picked up now behind the net by the Renegades and up the close side. Senek brings it in. Pass off, looking again as Kodowicz gets a shot off and save by Saric. So there's going to be a penalty potentially coming up on the play. No, the referee is not going to signal that. He was watching a play very intently there. As now Titans bring it in. Barrel just barely keeping it in, and player goes down. Referee is right on top of the action here, as they don't call anything on that one. Goes all the way to Saric. They're going to award this to the Renegades with 3:35 to play. Clark goes right in front for Kodowicz. Saved by Saric. As there is going to be a penalty now on the play. And it's going to be Thompson taking 2 for cross-checking. Boucher starting up the power play, which will take us within the final 90 seconds of the game. Hard cross pass. Now back up top to Boucher. Aktemachuk with a hard shot. Saric with the stop. A little bit of pushing and shoving between Cowan and Week. Not much coming of that as cutting into the middle was Erickson. Looking to tuck that one in as ball's up in the middle and loose. Kept in, though, by the Renegades, as that's going to bounce all the way to a Titan anyway. As Titans are going to touch it up. They're going to award it to the Renegades. 2:45 to go. Renegades far side. Now up top. Clark. Clark rips one and scores! Darian Clark, his second of the game, makes it 11-4. So we're going to say false start on the Renegades. Back to the Titans. With 2:27 to go. Pass is going to be picked off. And now it's going to be an open opportunity for Erickson looking for his hat trick. It's going to be stopped up by Sarich. Sarich sends it up to Tellier. Tellier cuts back. Passes to Potvin, and Potvin is going to go down low for Vekved. Vekved has an open lane. Vekved's going to put a shot off that goes just wide. There is a penalty coming up on the play to the Renegades this time within the final 2 minutes of this game now, as Potvin is going to throw one on net as shot clock is going to come to an expiry, as that one did go wide. So minute 44 to play, and Red Deer takes a late penalty. It's going to be a 2-minute cross-checking call to Lott. Titans just discussing a play as they're going to bring it into the zone. Minute 41 to play in the game. Over on the far side, now up to Potvin. Up top, now to Heft on the close side of your screen. Heft. It's kind of tucked in behind the referee there. As now Barrel takes a hard shot that goes off of a defender and bounces all the way down to Sarich. And with the 30-second shot clock coming to an expiry, a minute 12 to play, Renegades ball. They still lead 11-4. So the last little bit here is basically just a formality at this point. As Aktemachuk with it. Aktemachuk still holding. 1 minute to go in the game. Aktemachuk's spin move gets knocked down. Fighting for it on the close side boards. So it's going to be a 3-on-2. Be picked up now by the Titans as they're going to run it up the boards. Yacht's going to slow down instead. 40 seconds to play. Gives it over to Gadbois. Gadbois is going to fire one on net. Stop Geldof. 33 to go. There's a 6-second shot and game clock separation now. As the Renegades bring it in. Getting rubbed out along the far side boards by 3 different defenders. Everybody's just all over right now. 12 seconds left in the game. Sent up into the netting and into the penalty box. So ball's going to be awarded back to the Renegades with 6.5 seconds left. Renegades are just going to hold this one to finish out the game. So your final score from inside the Ardrossan Recreation Center. Renegades 11, Titans 4. Well, we thank you so much for tuning in to CROW LAX TV this afternoon. My name was Keenan, bringing you all of the action from inside our Ardrossan Recreation Center. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell to be notified every single time we go live all season long. Junior B Tier 1, Junior B Tier 2, Alberta Major Female, and Senior B. If you have not subscribed already, be sure to, as we are within the final 10 to 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube, so thank you so much for that. You can catch all the action in upcoming seasons as well. And be sure to give us a follow, as I said, on Instagram and X. We are only about 20 or 30 away from 1,000 followers on Instagram, so we greatly appreciate you following us over there, as it helps us out and helps bring you all the great lacrosse content all season long. So thank you once again for tuning in. My name is Keenan. So long from inside our Ardrossan Recreation Center.